So across the huge expanse of Eurasia, something of a quiet revolution is happening. You've got over a dozen nations that are completely rethinking what it even means to be a country by using artificial intelligence, not just as some new tool, but as the actual foundation for the state itself. Okay, let's dive into this because it's a pretty radical new way to think about government.
At the very core of all this is the idea of the intelligent state. Now, we're not just talking about, a new tech sector or something. This is about using AI as a complete operating system for the government itself, automating public services, fighting corruption, you name it. It's a totally different way of thinking.
So that brings us to the big question, right? Why? Why are all these countries in such a frantic race to build one of these? Well, the reasons are just as diverse as the countries themselves, and they range from pure economic desperation all the way to existential survival.
For a lot of the nations in Central Asia, the answer starts with a really powerful economic drive. They need to break free from their dependency on natural resources. For them, AI is their ticket into the 21st century global economy.
And this phrase right here, it just captures that ambition perfectly. The raw materials fairy tale. This idea that the wealth from oil and gas will last forever, well, that story is coming to an end. These nations know they have to pivot to an economy that's driven by innovation, and they've decided AI is how they're going to do it.
And believe me, this isn't just talk. The sheer scale of what Kazakhstan is planning is just staggering. I mean, they're aiming for a 500% jump in venture capital, training 1 million people in AI skills, and building out massive data infrastructure. This is a top-down, all-in kind of strategy. Get this, 1 gigawatt. That's the plan for their new data center valley. To put that into perspective, that's enough juice to power a small city, all of it dedicated to computing. It shows you the massive physical foundation you need to make these digital dreams come true.
But, not everyone is following the same playbook. Tajikistan, for instance, is trying to carve out its own unique niche. It's using its massive hydropower resources to pioneer what they're calling green AI, with the goal of becoming a world hub for sustainable, ethical artificial intelligence.
Okay, now let's shift gears and head over to Eastern Europe. Because over there, the push to build an intelligent state isn't just about economics. Here, it's about national survival and about cementing a place in the Western world.
For Ukraine, the war has been this unbelievable accelerator for tech innovation. I mean, just look at these growth numbers. They're astounding. The market for ground robotics shot up by almost 500% in a single year. It's a clear case of necessity being the mother of invention.
And this isn't science fiction. This stuff is being deployed on the battlefield right now, in incredibly sophisticated ways. You're talking about drones that swarm and organize their own missions, AI that can outsmart electronic jamming, and even computer vision that spots landmines from the sky. And beyond the battlefield, these countries are also running these fascinating experiments in AI governance. In Ukraine, you've got what's called the agentic state model, where this app, Dia, gives 24 million citizens direct AI-powered services. And then you have Albania, which has literally given an AI system named Diela a cabinet-level job to root out corruption. Two wildly different but equally bold visions for the future.
So, we've talked about the why, but how are these nations actually building an intelligent state from the ground up? Well, it all comes down to something we can call the sovereign stack. And that stack is built on 3 crucial pillars. First, you need the physical stuff, the energy grids, the internet connectivity. Second, you need the people, the trained, educated talent. And third, you need the right rules and regulations to steer it all. If you mess up even one of these, the whole structure can just fall apart.
And let me tell you, building these pillars is not easy. Take infrastructure. Central Asia is projected to be short over 6 gigawatts of energy by 2030. You simply cannot power a digital revolution if you can't even keep the lights on for the computers.
Then you've got the human element, and the scale here is just breathtaking. Both Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan want to train 5 million of their own people in AI skills by 2030. That's a nationwide mobilization to reskill an entire generation for a totally new economy.
And finally, there's regulation. For a lot of these nations, especially those on the edge of Europe, the EU's AI Act has basically become their North Star. It gives them a ready-made rulebook. It bans things like social scoring systems while demanding really strict oversight for high-risk AI. For them, aligning with this is a huge step toward integrating with Europe.
So when you put this all together, what you're seeing is this incredibly high-stakes geopolitical race.
These nations aren't just building tech companies. They are taking a massive gamble on a whole new model of the state, all to secure their future in a world that's dominated by the US and China.
But this gamble, it comes with a huge risk, something we can call the infrastructure trap. Think about it. If you build your AI nation on another country's computer chips, another country's energy, or another country's software, have you really achieved sovereignty? Or have you just swapped one kind of dependency for another, more modern one?
And that right there leaves us with the ultimate question for the future of Eurasia. Will these ambitious projects create truly independent, strong, and intelligent states, or will they accidentally become the digital colonies of the 21st century? The race is on, and the outcome is truly anyone's guess.